Now, if all of that, have fun with you. I love being with you. I think we've done a great job of getting back to a really good place. I'm happy.
Before we get to our #1 films of the year, we're going to talk about a dilemma. This movie we have seen has been getting not necessarily trashed by reviewers, some trashed by some reviewers, but it doesn't really getting that much attention. And let me tell you, you know what? I like this film. The movie stars Vince Vaughn and Kevin James, who are very good comedic talents, and the whole story is Kevin James and Vince Vaughn are business partners trying to sell electric automobiles, but putting them in the real cool muscle cars, so that the really cool muscle cars can have the electric power as well. The whole dilemma in this film is that Vince Vaughn sees Kevin James's wife, played by Winona Ryder, cheating on him in a garden.
Those plants are poisonous!
Awesome.
So now you see the problem, and this is a very good dilemma, which is why the film works so well. It layers on the drama between the two, and the tension between them, and him Vince Vaughn trying to tell Kevin James the truth about his wife is sometimes even hard to watch in some parts, but the film really struggles to get laughs, which is what it's being advertised as, which really is kind of weird to me, because it's so good in the drama parts, that the comedic parts come off as if I don't know whether to laugh or not. I think this film should be advertised more as a drama with some funny parts, like an Adventureland advertising, instead of just a full-blown comedy with Vince Vaughn and Kevin James at their comedic best, because they really aren't here. There aren't enough laughs for me to, say this was a really funny movie. But I will say I was very, very surprised by how involved I was with this friendship of theirs, and it was very well acted, and I liked the script a lot. There's a couple of throwaway scenes and useless scenes, and it doesn't have enough laughs, but I am giving it a very mild see it because I was genuinely surprised by how intimate this film was and how the dilemma really was a dilemma.
I really wish I was laughing more in this film because, like you said, it's sold as a comedy, so you expect laughter, and it is very sporadic at best with the laughter. But the more I thought about it is, this film is a lot different than a lot of other crappy romantic comedies we see because there is that sense of urgency. The film isn't very contrived, it's based on circumstance, and what you really get is the characters, you don't know what they're going to decide by the end. You really feel this is a true dilemma. So I'm giving it a very, very, very tiny see it.
Oh, really?
And it's you can call it almost like an accidental victory for it because it is trying to be more a drama, but it should be more a comedy. So it's confounding, but at the end of the day, it's worth seeing because we don't see this often in Hollywood. And I felt Vince Vaughn, he's a very dramatic actor, like in The Breakup, which I thought was a very underrated film.
Into the Wild as well, a small part.
Yeah, there's a small part there. And he has that talent to be funny and dramatic, and the film has a really good build to it. I think.
You're only 5 yards from the red zone. Now, once we get in the red zone, we're immortal lock. You're a red zone guy.
Still 25 yards out. Do you understand that? By the way, look, I don't care how you spin it, how you want to ice the cake. We're only 75% of the way there, and I'm having trouble breathing.
I also like how they use Kevin James, because you always see Kevin James in Paul Blart Mall Cop and Grown Ups just being tossed around as the fat man who's really funny when he falls down. I like here his character has some depth. Yeah. He's very conflicted. He has some great reasons. He's a great buddy. Like, you really want to hang out with this guy.
And also, we forgot about Channing Tatum, who's also really. He's playing the other guy, and he's okay. I thought he was okay because he's I felt he was actually satirizing his own crappy roles, like Never Back Down and Step Up. So I was okay with it. I thought it was a decent.
I just thought he was a stereotypical, hunk character with a lot of tattoos who's secretly sensitive. I think the reason why we're giving this film a see it is because you may be disappointed if you're looking for laughs, but what you need to look for is the other stuff. Yeah. Like that is what makes the film a see it for us, because we went into the film hoping we'd laugh, but we didn't laugh as much. But we were surprised by what else this film had to offer.
Now for the #1 films, the big kahunas, the big cheeses of the year. So what are they? Well, mine is, actually I think it was the first film I maybe even saw in 2010, and it's called Jacques Audiard's A Prophet. It stars Tahir Rahim, who is apparently, as a French actor, who was in the gutter for a while, and in this performance he really, really breaks through and playing kind of the innocent role, and he kind of maintains that innocent throughout the film. This is a character who, right off the bat, has to make a terrible decision, an offer he can't refuse, and that kind of haunts him for the rest of the film, which must be maybe one of the most realistic murder sequences of the year, just all in silence. This really shows you the potential of crime genre. I have nothing really much else to say, and I thought the last shot is, darn well classic.
Yes, it's a damn fine film. I think the reason why this film works so well is because like in the beginning, he gets into prison. It's like, okay, what? It's not about what did he get in there for.
Yeah.
Why is he there? It's about this world that he has entered into and where he is now. And that is why the film works so well, because it doesn't worry about the outside world until later in the film. Because at the very beginning, you're sucked into this prison. What's going to happen to him? How is he going to get out of it? How is he going to progress up this scale that he's being forced, you know, to go up? And I just think that film's almost like independently directed, but it feels like, you know, something that you'd see for years. You know, like it feels like something that will really stay around for a long time, even though it's like maybe a handheld indie style all the time. It's just so great from the director.
And there's a scene in the movie around the end when he's in a car lying down and there's bullets flying everywhere, and he just starts. There's a big smile and a close up.
Yeah.
And that's when my heart was just holy moly. It's almost like he accomplished something, but yet it's almost reflecting back on his very first action in the film. So it's a masterpiece. What do you want me to say?
I thought the guy who played Caesar was fantastic in the film. He was unbelievable.
Yeah. He's also overshadowing Raheem because he's so fiery in his performance. Like when he almost cuts his eye with a spoon. Like,
my goodness.
He's very explosive. Yeah, it's great.
This is a great film that everybody needs to see for sure.
C'est le trou. Et après le trou, permission. Qu'est-ce que je t'ai dit la dernière fois? Je t'ai dit, tu te tiens, Caro, t'assures tes sorties. Et qu'est-ce que tu fais, toi? T'éclates des mecs? Tu fais ta loi, tu joues à quoi? Tu me sers si tu sors, Jérémie. Si tu sors pas, tu me sers à quoi?
It's raining.
I'm sorry?
It just started raining.
Mr. Zuckerberg, do I have your full attention?
No.
Do you think I deserve it?
What?
Do you think I deserve your full attention?
I had to swear an oath before we began this deposition, and I don't want to perjure myself, so I have a legal obligation to say no.
My number one film of the year is The Social Network, and I cannot say anymore how important this film is for you to see, and not only important, but so wildly deep and entertaining as well. The Social Network has the three things that make movies really great films. It has writing, it has acting, and it has direction. And they are all done to absolute perfection. There's so much subtext to this film. It relates to not only my generation so well, but for people who maybe don't understand what Facebook is, like the adults. And even for people who are coming up and going into university, it captures that lifestyle so well in the world that we live in today. It just defines us of how self-indulgent and egomaniacal we are. Like, why do we update our status on Facebook so people will read it? Why can't we just talk to people anymore? And ironically, the biggest social network creation in the last generation, ironically tears the people apart in this film. I can't stress how amazing this film is, and I'm probably going to remember this for so long. I really am.
It should be on our top 20 of the decade,
Yeah,
I'm sure,
I know.
when it comes to 2020.
Yeah.
And you really think about, I think I've noticed was Mark Zuckerberg's character and throughout the whole film is he's always detached from the action.
Yeah.
Like in the opening montage, he's on his computer and everyone's at the parties and things. That's
Yes.
kind of that. When he's in the club talking to Justin Timberlake, he's up above, everyone's dancing down below.
Yes.
When they're in the pool scene, when they're all doing a zip line into the pool,
Yes.
he's away filming
Yes.
it on a video
Yes.
camera, and that's all
Yes.
about his life and how he's rejected from finals clubs, and that drives his almost avaricious temptations to make this other sort of finals club, which ends up being Facebook.
He's a character full of angst, which is why he's the perfect mismatch for Andrew Garfield's character, Eduardo, who is the innocent, trying to do a business kind of guy, who plays the straight man role, but he's so gullible and so easily manipulated, and he's heartbreaking to watch his character as the social network gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and he can't handle it, and he can't handle it.
Napster wasn't a failure. I changed the music industry for better and for always. It may not have been good business, but it pissed a lot of people off. And isn't that what your face mash was about? They're scared of me, pal, and they're gonna be scared of you. What the VCs wanted to say, good idea, kid. Grown-ups will take it from here. But not this time. This is our time. This time, you're gonna hand them a business card that says, I'm CEO, bitch.
And I thought there was a great breakthrough from Justin Timberlake, who I was really surprised. He hasn't really done it for me as an actor lately. Like, I know he was an alpha dog, and okay.
You want to punch him in the face, especially in the scene at the end with Andrew Garfield when he explodes, because
Yeah, exactly.
And that's a really great scene, and we can't forget Rooney Mara, who is perfectly underused as the Rosebud. The opening scene, you basically established the entire film that one scene.
Yeah, and we're gonna see her in David Fincher's The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo remake next year. But but I think this film works well because of Fincher's attention to detail, his use of lighting, Aaron Sorkin's amazingly whip-snap script.
Okay, no. You don't think I deserve your attention?
I think if your clients want to sit on my shoulders and call themselves tall, they have a right to give it a try, but there's no requirement that I enjoy sitting here listening to people lie. You have part of my attention. You have the minimum amount. The rest of my attention is back at the offices of Facebook, where my colleagues and I are doing things that no one in this room, including and especially your clients, are intellectually or creatively capable of doing. Did I adequately answer your condescending question?
Even Armie Hammer as the twins is great. Like all of the every single scene in this movie has a purpose. They connect perfectly. It's seamless. It is absolutely
feel,
seamless.
Jason, that, and this is gonna sound crazy, even though it's being nominated for Best Picture, I feel The Social Network is almost an underrated film, especially by the youth, because it's the truth punching them in the face, and they almost reject that. And they coil because that is our generation right there, and it's tough to swallow. It really is.
It is the film that has the guts to attack instead of restrain its punches, and I love that about it. And I really wish people would just stop saying it's good, because it's not good. This is beyond good. This is like something that you probably won't see again for the next 5-10 years.
Gonna win Best Picture, do you think?
Yes, I do think it is. I really hope it does. It's been winning a lot of awards, and I really hope it does. I hope Oscar gets it right this year, and they don't. I will be very, very angry.
Alright, so that's it for the best films of 2010. Next, you're going to be regressing with us to the decaying nature of the worst films of 2010, the absolute bombs.
Yes, hang me by a noose. And we're also going to be talking about The Green Hornet with Seth Rogen coming out. Alright,